and welcome back to the third edition of the Crowdfunding Roundup here at Think Outside the Board for August 2023. In this week's episode, I'll be looking at my picks from everything that launched between August the 16th and the 22nd. And I have 5 different campaigns to profile and share with you today. As always, my videos are tabbed so you can find the content that you're looking for simply by scrolling over the play bar. And I have links in the descriptions to all of the campaigns that I'm talking about. So if something particularly interests you, you can go down into that description section, click on the link, and it will take you right to the campaign. At this point in time, I'm focusing on doing these crowdfunding videos once a week, but I am going to be launching more types of content later in the year. I'm going to be relaunching my teach and review videos with upgraded equipment and better lighting and a higher production value. And I'll also be live streaming games, everything from medium light strategy games to heavy Euros, dungeon crawlers, campaign and legacy games, and narrative exploration games, and all kinds of solo games. So even if the crowdfunding content isn't really your thing, you may still want to subscribe so that later in the year when I launch those kinds of content, you're looped in and you get notifications. And of course, I always appreciate it when people do like and subscribe. It's the best way to help me growing the channel right now and helping to ensure that there will be more types of content for a long time to come. So without any further ado, let's get started and take a look at our 5 campaigns for the week. The first of these is for Dungeon Kart. Everything that we're looking at today launched on August the 22nd. So all 5 of these campaigns were Tuesday launches. This one had a funding goal of $35,000. They are currently at $141,000. So they're doing pretty well. And this campaign would be the highest multiplier of the week if there wasn't a campaign, a print and play, with a very low funding goal that I'm profiling later in the video. So because that campaign had such a very, very small funding goal, and it's just a print and play, that campaign does have the highest multiplier of the week. But Dungeon Kart is still doing pretty well. The campaign will run until September the 7th. And this game is designed by Michael Zurab, who also designed a game called Castles by the Sea, and it's being published by Brotherwise Games, who did Call to Adventure and the Boss Monsters series. This is a medium light racer. It's video game themed. It's really like Mario Kart, the board game, except it's not licensed. There's no IP, but that's what it feels like. So let's take a look at the video here. You'll see what I mean. You'll get a look at how this is going to play and what it looks like. And then we'll come back and we'll go over the 3 pledges. No add-ons for this one.
Race to rule the overworld in Dungeon Kart, a fast-paced tabletop game for 2 to 6 players. Pick your racer and choose your card. Every dashboard has unique capabilities. Adjust your speed every round, gaining movement points that you can spend to drive, drift, turn, and bump other racers. Watch out for pesky heroes and other hazards as you navigate the track, but keep your eye on the road. If you hit slower terrain, you'll have to dial down your speed. Pick up coins to activate your unique boss powers and pull him to the lead. But beware, your rival bosses aren't playing fair. Pick up a spell book to gain power-up spells, hurl fireballs, teleport to safety, or scatter mindless zombies around the track. So rev up your engines and get ready to show the other players who's boss. Only one racer can reign supreme in Dungeon Kart. Now on Kickstarter.
Now, there's a lot of racing games out there. Right now, Heat Pedal to the Metal is super popular, but I think part of that is just because it's so hard to get. It's kind of a snowballing situation where it's been pretty well rated, so people are trying to find it, and it keeps going out of print, and the more it's hard to find and the ratings are good, it's just kind of, it's driving this cycle that I think the hype is maybe a little bit more than the game. There's also Thunder Road Vendetta, which just had a reprinting through Restoration Games. And, you know, there's a bunch of other racing games out there. Flamme Rouge is another one that springs to mind. But you don't really see too many racers doing the kart racer thing, or at least games that are well produced. So I've seen plenty of, racing games that are kind of more the stereotypical video game type theme, but none the kart racing video game theme. And that's where I think this one, sets itself apart a little bit. So we've got 3 different pledges to look at in this one. So here's the first pledge level here on the left side, but let's go down and line it up with the actual pledge level itself. This is for the bronze tier. This is $50. In the continental US, there's going to be $10 shipping on this, so $60 total. And this is just the base game. This is what you're getting. Flat, easy to understand pledge, and the base pledge here comes with 10 double-sided track tiles. You've got 6 different acrylic boss monster racers, and then you've got your dashboards. You've got some these track racer position boards, and you've got punch board coin tokens and spell markers and hazard tokens. Here's some cards, spell cards, the rule book. That's everything that's in the base game. If you want to go to the next pledge up, it is this $60 pledge, the silver level. In the continental US, you're looking at $12 in shipping on this one, so $72 total. And this is just going to take the previous pledge and then add in these things to it. 7 double-sided void track tiles and a new racer, Cerebellus, and a dashboard for Cerebellus. So essentially you're just paying, $12 more once you bake in the shipping for an extra racer, their dashboard, and some more tiles. Then if we go to the final pledge level here, this is the $80 pledge level. This in the continental US has $14 on shipping, so it's $94 total. And this is going to add in the following items to the silver pledge. So 8 more double-sided tiles, these with an Icy Peak theme, and another new racer, the Brothers Wise. And then at this pledge level, you're also getting metal coin tokens. So I think, if you're wanting to upgrade, this seems like the best way to go, because the silver level tier is just giving you 1 additional racer. And then the gold tier adds on 1 additional racer on top of that, but then it gives you metal coin tokens. And I don't believe... There's also this dry erase leaderboard over here. I don't believe that the metal tokens, the metal coins, are something that can be added on. So let's just take a look through here. No, they're not including these as an add-on. That you can add on to the bronze or silver pledges. And if we go back to the campaign and we scroll, all the way down to the bottom here, you can see that there is no add-on for the coins. I'm just scrolling up until we go far enough to confirm that. But there is no metal coin add-on. So if these are something you want, if you're really into metal coins and you want these, you really do need to pledge the highest non-retailer tier, which is this gold tier, $80. In the continental US, $94 with shipping. Now, this campaign is slated to deliver in August 2024, so that's about a year out from the time that this campaign is running. So that was our first campaign for the week, Dungeon Kart. Our second one is Guilty Gear Strive, the board game. And this campaign has the honor of having the highest total pledge amount of the video of the week. And they are currently at almost $200,000, but that's on a funding goal of $150,000. So they're certainly not winning the leading multiplier, but they do have the most money. And as with all of the campaigns that we're looking at this week, this one launched on August the 22nd as well. And it's going to run until September the 12th. Now, Guilty Gear Strive, the board game, is designed by Brad Talton Jr. and published by his company, Level 99 Games. Perhaps you've heard of some of his other creations, which include BattleCon, Exceed, Millennium Blades, and Pixel Tactics. And where I said the other campaign, Dungeon Kart, looked to be sort of a medium-light Mario Kart type racer. If you're familiar with these games, you know that they're probably more on the medium heavy to heavy side, and this one is a 2-player card game battler with a video game theme, based on Guilty Gear, if you know that series. So let's take a look at the video, and then we'll come back take a look through the 3 pledges and some add-ons.
You see, I'm blazing, still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new one. My time is my world. Your words will never let me disappear. I'm bullshit blazing, still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new one. Smell of the game.
So I hope that video gives you an idea of how they're adapting the video game. It certainly features a lot of animations. I don't know how much it really communicates the gameplay. If you know the video game, you get a glimpse of some of the cards, and it certainly shows the kind of breadth of the components, so you get a good look at that. But I think if you really want to take a look at the gameplay, you're going to need to come here and explore the page and look at some videos that show off more of the gameplay than that video did. But hopefully that gives you at least a look at what they're trying to produce component-wise, and if you're paying close attention, a quick glimpse at some of those cards. Okay, so we've got 3 different pledges on this one. Here's some gifts if you want to see more of the gameplay teach. But let's go down to the gameplay pledges here. So we've got this first one, Guilty Gear Strive, the board game. This is a $99 pledge, $21 in shipping in the continental US for a total of $120. And that's going to get you the game. The base game, everything that you see here on the left side of the page. So you've got all these different characters. Every character comes with a tuck box, its fighter card, all of these things, rules reference card, there's normal attack cards, the special attack cards, the fighter reference cards, all of this stuff. 20 different characters, 695 cards. These games have a lot of cards to them if you're familiar with these. Everything with the tuck box, that's all the stuff you're getting on 2 of these silver coins that are used kind of like trackers and things. And then you've got a neoprene double stitch playmat. Okay, then we go to the next level up, which is the collector's edition. Now this is a $179 pledge, also $21 shipping in the continental US, bringing the total to $200. And that is going to take the previous pledge. It's going to add a second neoprene playmat, 4 more of those coins. So the other pledge had 2 silvers. This will throw in 2 bronzes and 2 golds that you can use as trackers. And then 20 standees for your characters. So in the previous pledge level, no standees. And here they're showcasing all the different standees you're going to get with this pledge and the coins and that second playmat. Okay, the final pledge level, jumping way up in price. is $499. In the continental US, you're looking at $37 in shipping on this, which means $536 total. So what this pledge level is going to do, it's going to give you everything in the previous pledge level. And that previous pledge level, that one that was $200 with the US shipping, that is your all-in for Guilty Gear Strive. But what this pledge level is going to do is it's going to add on 2 more big game sets, Blaze Blue and Under Night in Birth. So let's take a look here on the left side. So it's going to add in Blaze Blue, the board game, which is cross-compatible with Guilty Gear and Under Night in Birth. And these are all the different characters you're going to be getting with standees and a playmat for that game. And this is essentially the 4 game packs you're getting with that. This is the Ultimate Edition here with the playmat. Then you're also going to be getting Under Night in Birth, the board game, also cross-compatible with both games. 19 different characters with standees and a playmat. So here are all the kind of 5 game packs you're getting with that. A couple extra things, the Ultimate Edition here, and another playmat. So you're basically getting 3 all-ins for 3 different games if you go here to the highest pledge level. Now, if you want to do some mixing and matching, if you want some of that stuff, not all of that, you can get it through the add-ons. Here they show you Blaze Blue, the board game, and all 4 different packs. Each one as an add-on is $35. The playmat is $25. That just means if you were trying to cobble this together, all of this together here would be $70, $140, $165 just for the Blaze Blue stuff. And then Under Night in Birth, there's an extra one of these packs, right? There's 5 instead of 4. Sorry, this one here is not quite as expensive as the others. So this is $140 with the other $20 pack, $160, $172 with the character pack, and then $197. So $197 if you're trying to add on everything for Under Night in Birth. And of course, if you wanted the all-ins for both of these, you could just get the Ultimate Collection along with the all-in for Guilty Gear. There are also these sleeves which you can add on. So you're getting 800 sleeves in a pack for $50. So you can figure out what you're ordering, how many cards there are, and how many sleeve packs that you need. But the sleeves are not included with any pledge level. You're just going to be getting them as an add-on. Okay. Last of all, we can see here that they're planning on delivering this package, Guilty Gear, plus the other 2 all-ins if you decide to go whole hog, in July of 2024. So a little bit sooner than Dungeon Kart, but again, about a year for this one. That brings us to our 3rd campaign of the week, and for this one we're going to go over to Gamefound. And this is a game called Peacemakers, Horrors of War, launched on August the 22nd. If we look down here, we can see the campaign is going to run until September the 21st. And this is a game that's published by Sammy Laxo and, or I should say designed, also with some art by Sammy Laxo, and published through his publishing entity, Snowdale Design. Now, they've done Lands of Galzir, the Dale of Merchants series, and based on what I'm seeing here, I believe this is going to be a medium-heavy cooperative game with hand management and variable player powers. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this is essentially a redesign of a game that has existed previously. So let's go to Board Game Geek and take a look at that. It is re-implementing a game called Dawn of Peacemakers. So looking at that game should give us a decent idea of what to expect. Dawn of Peacemakers came out in 2018. It has a 7.2 cumulative rating over on Board Game Geek. It's for 1 to 4 players. The community thinks it's best at 2, and it's got a weight of 2.93, which puts it right in the medium-heavy range, so right in the middle of that, and games are going to take about an hour or 2 to play. So this is the game that has been redesigned into Peacemakers, Horrors of War. And if we look over here at the funding goal, it's $54,000. They're just shy of that right now. But most campaigns do about 2/3 of their business in the first 48 hours, and 1/3 of their business in the last 24 hours. So there's no doubt in my mind that this is going to handily pass this funding goal before the campaign ends. I don't think funding is going to be an issue. Okay, so let's watch this video, then we'll come back, we'll look at the 4 pledges and kind of see what is in each of these.
Dark clouds of war have gathered over the continent. Animal folks across the land have taken up arms, and only you can bring peace. Peacemakers, Horrors of War is a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players. Take part in 6 distinctive scenarios with optional challenges. Each conflict features a different combination of forces from across 7 ferocious animal folk armies. Unique order decks bring each faction's fighting style to life. As long as the armies have motivation to fight, the encounter will end in horror. Unless you, a brave and resourceful adventurer, can stop them and bring peace. You'll be relying on your resource cards, but you have to choose carefully when and how to use them. Should you fail to protect everyone, the horrors of war can bring unspeakable ruin.
Did the game look interesting? We built it upon one of our previous ones, Dawn of Peacemakers. We listened to player feedback and set out to create the best peacemaking experience we could. If this looks something you'd enjoy, we would love your support.
There's a lot of things I like about this campaign, about this game too. I mean, the component quality looks really good. And I'm increasingly impressed by Snowdell design in general. So I'm considering backing this. Right now I've been backing so much stuff lately. I'm thinking I probably won't, but I'm super interested in this game. I'd love to play it. We can see that the cheapest one here is this Peacemakers, Horrors of War, and promo pack. So essentially this is getting you the new version of the game along with this Kickstarter only promo pack. So this is a $61 pledge. There's $22 shipping on this for people in the continental US, so that is an $83 pledge. From there is a $72 pledge, and that just throws in sleeves. So there's not much more weight involved in this pledge, so it is also $22 in shipping. That means in the continental US, you're looking at $94 total for this pledge. So base game, promo pack, but for this one, they're throwing in the sleeves. There's also this Snowdale all-in gameplay bundle, and this is going to give you some of their other games. You've got the entire Dale of Merchants trilogy here, the big collection box for Dale of Merchants, and Lands of Galzir. And that's going to be in addition to the Peacemakers base game and the promo pack. So it's kind of backing things up to the first pledge, the pledge without the sleeves, and then just adding on a lot of gameplay content. So $243 on this one, $35 in shipping if you're in the continental US, meaning that the total pledge is about $278 for continental US residents. And then finally, we have this very big Snowdale All-In Deluxe Bundle. So that's essentially taking this previous pledge, it's giving you all of these games, but then throwing in a lot of quality of life upgrades. So you can see all of the games here in the background, but you're also going to be getting this Lands of Galzir neoprene mat and a traveling case, as well as an extra dice set and a dice tray. You've got 4 neoprene player mats for Dale of Merchants. Let's see what else. Lots of sleeves. So we've got sleeves for all Lands of Galzir. You've got the Dale of Merchants, I said playmat, also the playmat bag, sleeves for Dale of Merchants, plenty of sleeves, both for the collection and all 3 editions. You've also got the Beavers expansion for Dale of Merchants, also sleeves for Peacemakers, Horrors of War. So That is basically everything you can get for all of these games, all the quality of life upgrades. So this is a $442 pledge, $43 US shipping. So we're looking at about $485 for continental US residents, all in once we've applied shipping. And this giant cornucopia of games, Peacemakers, Horrors of War, and whatever else you decide to back through this. They're planning on shipping this in July of 2024. So again, we're looking at about a year out from the running of the campaign. Now, we're going to go back to Kickstarter for this one, and this is a much smaller campaign. This is for a print-and-play deck builder where you're going to be fighting with a band of heroes. It's called Small Time Heroes, and I like to take away the some of the risk for my viewers, so I like to find campaigns where they're less risky, and if they are risky, I at least talk about that so you know. Print and plays are very, very low risk because you're not getting any kind of physical components. There's nothing to produce, there's nothing to ship you. They are just going to release the files after the campaign is over, and you're going to print out the assets at home and make your own game. So very, very low risk on these kinds of print and plays. And we can see here they had a very low funding goal of $50. They're almost to $700. That means because of the very low funding goal, this is the highest multiplier of the week. Again, this campaign, as all of the campaigns this week, launched on August the 22nd, and it's going to run until September the 12th. Now, this is a print and play designed by Drew Corkill. It's self-published. It is, I believe, a medium-light cooperative roguelike deck builder and card battler. Now, there is no video for me to show you. I think there are some videos from the designer showing you how to play the game. I'm not going to play those videos because they're kind of long and they're not that well produced. But if you want to see more of the gameplay, you can come over here to this page. Here quickly in the GIFs, selecting heroes and the bosses. This kind of feels like the Sadler Brothers designs through Blacklist Games, where you're going to be taking out certain decks for characters, certain decks for the bosses, and that randomization gives you a lot of variability in the game. And then the gameplay loop itself, you're drawing 5 cards, using 3 energy, and then activating the enemies and just fighting until somebody dies. So here are some smaller videos. These just ran too long for me to include at the top. So I can't really show you this, but come here if you're interested, take a look at these. You'll see how the game plays. And they use Marvel Champions health dials in this video. Okay, so the pledges are over here on the right. There are 2 pledges. There's a small time pledge, which is $3. There's no shipping on this. There's nothing to send you, so that is it, $3. And that's going to include the print and play files with 2 heroes and 1 boss and access to a tabletop simulator mod. Let me see if they actually list out the pledges. Yeah, here they do. So that's the small time pledge right there. That's what you're getting. And if you want to pledge the hero pledge for $9, that's $6 more, that's going to give you access to content that's going to be published in the future. So we can see here what they have planned. In October, you've got a new boss, the Goblin King. In November, a new hero class, the Cleric. In December, a new boss, the Necromancer. In January, campaign mode. And then in February, the first Kickstarter created boss, so this will probably be done from polls that are conducted throughout this campaign. So, you know, triple the pledge, but you're getting ongoing content. And again, there's no shipping involved with this, and that also means that as soon as the campaign is done, or very shortly thereafter, in September, and again, the campaign is going to run until September 12th, so sometime in September, maybe a week after that, they will make these files available, and then you'll have your game. Boom. And if you want to support, you know, a up-and-coming designer, Drew Corkill, who I think has designed a pretty good game here with this and produced it on a pretty decent level for a print and play, go and support him. Maybe you will be some of the people that will help him be able to do a bigger physical printing of a game next time and help him succeed in a new career as a board game designer. All right, so that is the 4th campaign of the week on Kickstarter, Print and Play. For the final campaign, we go back to Gamefound, and this is a big game, miniatures game. This game has not funded, or I should say this campaign has not funded either, and it's not quite as close as I think it was Peacemakers, but they're still going to get there, I believe. They're at $25,000 of a $35,000 funding goal. The only reason this might not happen is if the publisher comes and takes a look at this and realizes that even when they do fund, they're not going to go that far over their goal. They could cancel the campaign, in which case, if you backed it, no money will ever be taken from you. And they could retool it and come back and relaunch later. So that's a possibility, but if they decide to, move forward with this, I think this will fund. Because as I always say, the campaigns normally do about 2/3 of their business in the first 48 hours, about 1/3 of their business in the last 24 hours, and I think that right there will get them over the hump. Okay, so this campaign launched on August 22nd, the same as the other ones we've been talking about today, and it will run until September the 14th. Now, part of the reason this may not be funding as much as some other games is that this is a new designer here, this is a new publisher, and that means that there is higher risk involved. Everyone's doing it for the first time. They haven't done a crowdfunding campaign before, so inevitably there are going to be things that happen both with the production and shipping of the game, and it will be a first time for everyone involved dealing with that. So, there's definitely more room for problems and the escalation of problems. So there is more of a risk on this campaign. But the game, The Wilderness, looks really interesting to me. This is a cooperative game that uses action points, variable player powers. There are campaigns in this, so as we look through this, you're going to see that there's a base game and then there are 2 expansions. And each of those has a 10 scenario campaign. So if you're going to go all in, you'll have 30 scenarios, 3 campaigns. But let's take a look at the video here, and then we'll go over the 3 pledges and the add-ons.
Since the event known as the Wilderness, the world has never been the same. Nature evolved in ways never seen before, claiming back the cities and leaving anyone still standing to fend against feral beasts. As one of the survivors, explore the ruins inside out. Keep a close watch on your surroundings. Finding resources is not an easy task these days, so you should grasp a few chances you get. If you want to survive, you should collaborate with others, improve your skills, and upgrade your equipment to be able to push back the wolf swarm and face off against one of those enormous beasts. You might come across Manticore, Krampus, Gaia, and many more. Once inside its territory, there is nowhere to hide. The beasts always find their targets, wrecking everything around. They are relentless while hunting. If you want to chase them away, you better be ready to overcome all trials. Even if you are confident against one of them, there is always another one with completely different behaviors to challenge you. Improve yourself the longer you stay at the ruins. Break old weapons apart for their scraps so that you can upgrade another one into a custom and get even better results. Learn new abilities as you progress, specialize in a role, and be the best at it, or mix skills between both your classes as a means to adapt to every situation. Complete all tasks to turn your camp into a safe haven. Only by doing so and working together, you will be able to show the beasts who are the real prey.
I just had to laugh at that last lamenting cry from the cornered beast. Okay, let's take a look at these pledges. We start things off with the basic pledge here. This is $110. Continental shipping, you've got $23 in shipping, so $133 total. And if we click on this, we can see this is going to get you the core game and all stretch goals. And here's a look at what's in that core game. So you've got 10 different beasts, 6 survivors to choose from, wolves miniatures, that's the card count, 295 cards, double-sided tiles, other components, and 10 story missions. And here's kind of a look at the different monsters and beasts and their miniatures and their player card or player mat there. And then here's the survivors that you'll be playing and their miniatures, and here are the kind of tiles that you'll be making up the world, and then some of the the more generic miniatures. And that's what the cards look like. Okay, so that's all the components in the game. That is your basic pledge. If we go to the next one, the expansion pledge, that's going to throw in the 2 expansions, Tides and Plagues. So this one's $180, $36 shipping in the continental US for a total of $216. And we can see that's going to throw in these 2 expansions, and you'll get stretch goals associated with those expansions as well. Okay. The third pledge here, this is a retail one, so we don't need to bother with that. The third one is the one they actually have at the top. This is the all-in pledge. So this is $320, $59 in shipping in the continental US for a total of $379. And that's going to add on a whole bunch of quality of life upgrades. So you're getting the core game, the 2 expansions, stretch goals, but you're also getting this bestiary book, play mats. Everything's fully sleeved, so I have sleeves for everything, a dice tray and tower, custom dice, and a hard enamel pin. And let me see if they actually show this stuff here. Yeah, so let's kind of look through it. There's that bestiary. There's the case here with the dice. It's actually pretty nice dice tray. The sleeves, the dice tray with the kind of snap-on tower here, and a pin, and then some neoprene mats. So those are all of the extras you can get. And if you're doing the all-in pledge, you're getting all of them. But they're also available as add-ons if you want to just pledge at a lower level and get some of them. So the Tides expansion, the Plagues expansion, those are $45 each as an add-on. This bestiary is $40. The custom dice and kind of storage tray is $20. The dice tray and tower is $40. The sleeve pack for just the core game is $8, but if you want sleeves that will include both expansions, it's $15. The playmat as an add-on, $65, and that hard enamel pin, $10. So that's everything if you just want to pledge the lower pledge and maybe get some of this stuff. Maybe you're not interested in, the pin or sleeves or the dice tray and tower. Maybe you just want, the playmats. Or maybe you just want the sleeves and the playmats. So you get the second pledge level and just add those things on. Now, if we go back and look at any of these pledge levels, right here they say April 2024, so that's when they're planning on shipping this. That's a little bit sooner than most of the other campaigns that we've looked at today, not including the print and play. But that is less than a year. And again, this is a first-time designer, first-time publisher. They're doing crowdfunding for the first time, and they've got a game with a pretty good amount of miniatures in there. So there's lots of room for this thing to run off the rails, and I think that shipping date is ambitious. So I would just be prepared for that shipping date to be pushed back 6 months easily, just with everything that they're going to have to be dealing with production and shipping for this. But if they somehow manage to get that done, they are shooting for, what was the month that we said? April 2024. So we're in August now. That's about 9 months away. That wraps this video this week. Thank you very much for taking a look at the 5 campaigns with me, seeing if any of these may be right for you. I do not have a list of anything that's coming out next week. I think with everything that was going on with Gen Con and publishers being there, there just aren't as many campaigns that are launching right now. And right now, I don't know anything that is launching next week. I don't have anything on my radar. So I'm assuming there will be more things that launch in the next week, and there'll be at least a handful of notable launches next Tuesday. And if that's the case, I'll be back next week, and I'll be talking about my picks of everything that launched. If for some reason, and I don't see this happening, nothing comes out, then I'll just pause and take a week off in terms of video production, do more behind the scenes work, what I'm doing to kind of get going on the launch later in the year of my revamped teach and review videos and live streaming. So I'll just spend more time doing that next week if there aren't any notable launches, but I'm sure there'll be at least a couple. So have a great week. Play lots of great games. I am hoping to get a little more Cthulhu Death May Die played this week, as well as the Nightmare Cathedral, which just showed up this week, and I'm very excited for that one. And then moving on into next week, I'm probably going to play even more Cthulhu Death May Die, and I think a friend of mine is going to teach me Ultimate Railroads. So that's kind of what I have lined up for this week. I hope you are going to have a good weekend, a great week. Play lots of great games yourself, and I'll see you back here next week, Friday, and we'll be surprised and talk about anything really cool that launched in this coming week. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.